Hello there, Sir from 17 once again. This is my Uncharted 2 Remastered Brutal Difficulty video walkthrough. This is the final level of the game, 26, Tree of Life. This is the Lazarevich boss fight. And this video is going to really annoy some people who have struggled with this boss, because this is an incredibly simple loop of a very difficult boss if you do it a different way. So, if you stay close to Lazarevich, there are two things he can do. The punch that he did just then, and the grab. If you have any damage on you when he does this grab, he can break your neck and end the game. But as long as you've not taken too many hits, you should be fine. All you're going to do, stay next to him, let him grab you, mash square, when that resin regenerates, shoot it, stay close to him, mash square, shoot the resin. It's that simple. If you get any distance from him, he can shoot you with the shotgun, and that's when things get bad. The only other time, there are two things that can happen. The first is he does the punch without the quick time event, and he does it more than once, then he grabs you, then he breaks your neck. That is very rare, but it can happen. The second thing is, when he grabs you, he puts you into the geometry, and you can't physically move. So be careful where you stand, because that can affect you. And then of course, if you're too close to the resin when you shoot it, it will instantly kill you. That happened to me on my crushing run. But I didn't come up with this method. This has been around for ages. I checked on YouTube and I saw it, but I stumbled across it on my second kill of this boss, because my first kill on hard, I found it really difficult. He is a really challenging boss when you're running around luring him and shooting the resin. It gets real tough. Really tough. And on crushing, it'll be even worse. On brutal, even worse still. But then when I played it again, and I went to fight him, I ended up disconnecting my PlayStation controller. And I think at the time it must have been charging, and it was super low on batteries, so it wasn't doing anything. And he grabbed me. I was mashing the square at the time, and when I managed to hook it up and, fumble for the cable and everything, I was just kind of stood next to the boss and he didn't do anything. So when I got my pad working again, he grabbed again. And there was these two grabs in a row where it makes you wonder, like, what does this mean? So I restarted it because I didn't know if it was a bug. I didn't know if my PlayStation got any funny, because when, your pad disconnects and stuff. I had no idea. I'm not much of a PlayStation 3 guy. So I did it again, and I let him grab me, and then I stood there, and he grabbed me again, and then I stood there, and he grabbed me again. And there it was, the origins of a strategy that when I went onto YouTube and looked it up, it had already been found, and everybody was doing it, but I didn't know about it. And I'm sure there's people watching this who don't know about it either. So it was just one of those serendipitous moments that happens, and every so often it does happen. Like, I've had strategies on the Xbox 360 where I've gone to look at the achievements, and when I've pressed the dashboard, it didn't pause the game. So when I came back to the game, I was still playing, and unbeknownst to me, shit was happening, and it helped me get a technique of winning. And it's one of those things where, games can work in really mysterious ways, and this is just one of them. But this is not a quick strategy, guys. This is like 5 minutes of this. And the way you can tell that it's progressing is his face gets gradually more cut up. And the more his face gets cut up, the closer he is to dying. But doesn't it look weird when... Oh, watch this! It doesn't put me into the close-up camera moment, so we get to watch it from this perspective. How dodgy did that look? But this is very glitchy as well. This is prone to really strange glitches, so... just be careful. But this was, I think, my first attempt at this boss. When I was trying to loop him on crushing, I died a few times because there were instances where he shot me because I moved out of positioning and things like that, but it went really smooth once I learnt it again and I got back into it. But I always try and make it so that he's grabbing me and my back is to the direction away from the resin, so that his back is closer to it, so that I can always capitalise on the resin. And you can do this in some other places where you can almost capitalise on 2 different resins, but I always found it to, like, I'd get really close to killing him and then it'd mess up somehow. So to me, Occam's razor, the simplest answer. Just do it in the place where it works, and this is my place that I prefer, so that's why I did it. But it is interesting, isn't it, to know, especially if you struggled with this fight, just how stupid and mechanically goofy it can be if you know what to do. And it's all to do with the proximity on his shotgun. He has a scripting on his character where when you're at a certain distance he will shoot you, and that is what his hierarchy of scripts does. When you are under a certain distance he will try to punch you or grab you. And all we're doing here is exploiting that hierarchy, because he cannot shoot us. You'd think he could, but that's just not the way they designed the boss. And it's all knowledge, guys. Knowledge allowing you to win. And that is my favourite kind of strategy. When you can understand something on such a level that you can embarrass it, like we're embarrassing this dude. And there's literally nothing he can do. All he can do now is do the punch where he doesn't grab me, and do that twice and then grab me. If he does anything else, he's dead. And that's the only move he can do. He might put me through the graphics if I'm not careful, which is why I'm trying to move away from him. And there it was. Does he do a second one? Which he can do. This is that tense moment, and he grabbed me, and we're good. I regenerate, I punch him in the face, and then the resin's probably grown back because it's getting about that time, and we can get close to finishing him off. No, not quite. I think it's coming about now. No? I think you'll see the glow on the screen when it comes back. Pretty distinctive. There it is again, putting me in a weird camera moment. There's the resin. And there it is! We did it, guys! How easy was that? And that is not an easy boss. People who think that's an easy fight have never fought him on a harder difficulty. Like, I fought him on Brutal, running around the room and doing the strategy that the game wants you to do. And it's hard as shit. It's really, really difficult. But that strategy, perfect. If that's not going to help the most people, I don't know what will. But the only thing left to do now is to run to victory, and then there's going to be a little vignette where we have to shoot one of those blue dudes that's attacking one of the girls. And then I'm going to show you the trophy screens and the detail and all that kind of good stuff. Just to validate that this is in fact on Brutal, and I beat it on Brutal. And even though I do this, there's still going to be that arsehole that's like, this is not on Brutal, I die really quick. Like, yeah, so did I, but you didn't fucking see that, moron. Like, I hate those people. Just because you're having trouble, don't blame my guide. It's here to help, it's not here to be a fucking scapegoat for your excuses. So there it was, Uncharted, Brutal, you have earned a trophy. And then I go into the PlayStation trophy thing, which I never do, so it was nice to do this and see it work. And there it is. Finish the game on Brutal. It is ultra rare, 0.1%. And there you go, gold trophy. Thank you very much for watching, and as always guys, you take care now.